are traditional rivalries. There are neighborhood rivalries. This is a rivalry of the fittest and the finest. The Belvidere Bucs versus the Boylan Titans. Good afternoon. I'm Andy Gannon, and welcome to this IHSA Class 5A state semifinal. It's an all-Nick 9 affair, this one, the first time in state tournament history. Joining me in the booth this afternoon will be the head football coach of the East ERAB's, Dean Schluter. Dean, regular season game, 1-point game, won by Belvidere. Can they get anything from that, or can Boylan get some revenge factor going to add to what's already at stake in this game?
Well, I'll tell you, Andy, I think it's definitely going to be a great matchup and a great game. Boylan definitely wants this game pretty bad. I'm sure they felt in the first game that it was a close ball game. I'm sure they felt that they even outplayed Belvidere a little bit and came up short. And I'm sure Belvidere probably feels a little bit the same way. They want to make sure that people understand that that first game wasn't a fluke, that they're the best team in the conference, and I'm really looking forward to a good ball game.
Boylan Titans, of course, riding the crest of their victory over Wheaton-Warrenville South, the 6th-rated team in the nation. And we talked with both Coach Bill Thumb and Vern Pottinger about today's state semifinal.
The best thing could have happened to us has happened to us. If we were playing Bolingbrook or somebody like that was an outsider, I think it would be impossible to be up 2 weeks in a row. I think playing Belvidere, who has become a very intense rival, with the scenario of us having had to go there early in the year, and frankly having them in the position where we could win and then letting them win with the execution of a pass in the last 4 minutes, gives us all the incentive in the world that we should be up. We should be ready to play.
I can't say that we really dislike Boylan. It's just a matter of that we both are very competitive, and as you can see from the records over the past few years, you know, it's been back and forth and close games and everything else. So it's just a matter of two teams that have played each other a lot and go at each other hard and don't like to lose. And anytime you play somebody and you get beat a few times by them, if you don't like to lose, you all of a sudden you don't like them very well.
So the rivalry is also the rivalry also a big factor. Of course, also at stake, a berth in the state football finals in Class 5A. Joining us today on the field will be roving the sidelines Anthony Rothman. Anthony, it looks like the weather will not be much of a factor in today's contest.
Oh, not at all, Andy. This is the greatest place to be, is right on the field. About 36 degrees before kickoff. They expect it to get into the low 40s, so weather will not be a factor. This game is going to be won on the field today and in the heads of the players. The coach is telling me before the game, this game will be won mentally as well as physically. We'll have it for you. Boylan has won the toss. They will defer to the second half. So Belvidere will be getting the ball. Boylan will be defending the south goal. We'll send it back up to you and the Dean of Coaching, Dean Schluter. Some say this guy looks like Joe Theismann. What do you think?
Well, I know he wants a telestrator like Joe Theismann. Anyway, we were about a minute away from kickoff, and we'll be back with our national anthem and the opening kickoff of this Class 5A state semifinal in a moment. Don't forget, today's IHSA semifinal broadcast is sponsored by Lou Backroad Chevrolet Geo Jeep Eagle, and your one low-price dealer and a proud sponsor of Nick 9 Sports. We're now going to action.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
was our own Mimi Murphy from WIFR TV with singing the national anthem here at this Class 5A state football semifinal. The Belvidere Bucs will be getting the opening kickoff, and that means it comes once a year at least. It's like your wife's birthday. It's the no-huddle wishbone offense. You know it's coming, but you just don't know how to handle it. What is Boylan's strategy going into handling Belvidere's offense?
Well, I'm sure Boylan's going to try. You know, they're the best team in the conference as far as defense goes, and I'm sure they want their strength on the field right away. They're going to try to, you know, it's probably in a game like this where everybody's real excited that they play defense first and get their first licks in that way. So I'm sure that this is just exactly what they wanted. They're going to play defense first. They've been very successful over the last couple of years on shutting down the wishbone, and I'm sure they're looking forward to this first series. This is going to say a lot right here.
The key to stopping the no-huddle wishbone attack of Belvidere starts right in the middle with the fullback, correct?
That's true. There's no doubt about it that in order to beat Belvidere's wishbone, you got to stop the fullback. And they've got a good one in Magoo Martinez. He's, I'm sure, going to probably get a lot of carries today. And, you know, Boylan's going to really try to stop them first. And they've, like I said, over the last couple of years especially, they've done an excellent job of stopping the wishbone, especially the fullback.
Boylan only ran for 120, or Belvidere only ran for 120 yards against Boylan in the first matchup this year. Deep back for the Belvidere Bucs to receive the opening kickoff off the foot of Aaron Cassiope. Be Aaron Latino in the middle, Shad Pease on one side, and Jason Walker on the near side. We're ready to tee it up here at Titan Stadium, the Class 5A state football semifinal. Two Nick 9 teams, first time in state tournament history they have reached the semifinals in the same year. Cassiope with the kick. Latino at about the 6. Brings it straight up the middle. Socked at the 22-yard line. Tackle made on the special teams by Brian Kelly. Let's set the Belvidere offense for you. It's the no-huddle wishbone attack. They will come right off the sidelines and run a play. And starting at quarterback, of course, is senior Jeff Gardner. Backfield of Magoo Martinez, Shad Pease, and Aaron Latino. Wide receiver, Matt McClenton, who had a solid year. The tight end is Chuck Leonard, a junior. Ball spotted. Gardner calling the signals. And there's Magoo up the middle, 5 yards.
This is exactly what they try to establish at the beginning of each game. You know, they're going to give it to the fullback, or they give it to second man through. They're just going to, you know, nothing really very exciting, but they're just going to grind it out, and they get 5-6 yards on a lot of their early carries, and they got 6 yards there.
Let's set that offensive line, and there are probable all-conference players along this Belvidere offensive line. Andy Pollock at center. The left guard is Matt Schultz and Mark Winkles at starting. They're juniors. Gardner hands off again to Magoo, and he gets piled up after a short gain. It'll set up a 3rd and 2. The right side of the line is Belvidere's strength. 2 seniors, Rob Shiljan and Stuart Sell, on the right side of that Belvidere Buck line. And there'll be seniors on the left side as well. Joe Wick and Aaron Pearson are expected to play for the Bucks. They are coming off injuries. It is 3rd and 1, and jumping movement on the play. It looks like the Boylan Titans jumped off sides. That will give the Belvidere Bucs a first down. That was a big play. I mean, Boylan stops them right there. They get the momentum right away.
Yeah, they had the split end right on that.
Defense, first down.
They had split end right on that, tight left, and looked like Boylan was shaded towards the split end side, running a little stunt to the right side, and jumped off just a hair.
Belvidere now with the ball on the 36-yard line. First series of the game. And that was Aaron Latino trying to the middle, and he was stuffed by, well, this is an interesting story. Tony Minardi, the senior nose guard for the Boylan Titans, was kicked off the team. He violated team rules this past week, and they're starting a junior, Rob Laybeck, number 33, at the nose guard position. That's a key position to stop Belvidere's no-huddle attack, and he did that time with Latino. 2nd and 9, the fake to Magoo, and Gardner gets knocked over and socked for a 1-yard gain by Jeff Cavanaugh.
That's a real nice play by Cavanaugh. They faked the middle, going to the tight end side. Cavanaugh stayed with it, pressed up into the hole, made a good play on Gardner.
So it's a 3rd and 9 now for the Belvidere Bucs.
Now they're going to break the bone here a little bit. Going to go wing right with a split right.
Handoff to Pease on the counter play, and he gains about 7 yards, setting up a punting situation. The tackle made on that play was made by number 94, Steve Menke. So Boylan stops him.
Their counter dive all year, Andy. They've had great success on it. They tried it that way, that particular time out of a little bit different formation, and came up short.
Andy Curley doing the punting for the Belvidere Bucs. Back to receive Willie Young, the quarterback, and Ricky Grimes, who is Mr. Everything for the Boylan Titans. Curley's punt nearly blocked but Ricky Grimes picks it up and gets socked right away at the 32-yard line. That's where the Boylan Titans will take over, and we'll be back with their first offensive possession after this break. Second down, Willie Young looking over the middle, finds Ricky Grimes for a gain of about 8 yards. The first down play was a Matt Cavanaugh running play, or Brian Danaher running play that was stopped for no gain, but it looks like a pickup of about 8 here, and now a flag on the play, and it looks like that's against Belvidere.
They ran a little play action pass off the first play that they had, a little fake inside.
Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on the visitors.
That's emotions getting away with them.
Yeah, they're both sides are pretty psyched up for this, and sometimes those kind of things happen. It's unfortunate it gives Boylan a first down. It's unfortunate for Belvidere that it gives Boylan a first down, but there's a lot of hitting out there already.
So that moves Boylan into Buck territory at the 45-yard line. Willie Young, the senior at quarterback. In the backfield, Jeff Cavanaugh, number 24, Brian Danaher, and Rick Grimes. Grimes in motion, handoff back to Brian Danaher, and that play was doomed from the start.
They had a little mix-up on the exchange there. They faked to the fullback, and then had a second man come through. They had even a little option play going to their left side. So I expect to see a pitch play coming up a little bit later.
Boylan's offensive line, center Jay Larson, Dave Betts, and Antoine Newble at guards, Reggie De La Rosa and Joe Farron at tackles, Aaron Cassiope, number 83, wide receiver, and Steve Menke is the tight end. Second down and 11. Young looking to pass. Still looking, finds Grimes again, overthrows, picked off and dropped. Uhlberg had it in his hands and bobbled it and dropped it.
Tell you, you're not going to see Rick Grimes drop too many of those. That's one of their favorite passes where they play action one way, got the receivers coming back against the grain. Good throw, just didn't catch the ball, and almost a pick by the Belvidere secondary, but just came up a little short.
Third and 11 for the Boylan Titans. 7:23 to go in the first quarter. It's a scoreless tie. Boylan with the ball for the first time. Young back to pass. Blitz from Adam McClinton. And a screen pass to Menke. He rumbles up the middle, gets first down yardage to the 30-yard line.
What a nice play. They had split backs. They both flared out to the side. Had the tight end right in the middle. Here it is again. We see Young's back. Here comes the tight end right over the middle. He gets good first down yardage. Nice tackle, nice play, good call.
Aaron Hobson, the junior quarterback of the Boylan Titans, is healthy, ready to play. Why is Bill Thumb going with Willie Young?
Well, Willie's got experience, and he's been there. He knows what's going on. He's got maybe a little more poise that Bill wants, and he'll do a good job.
Handoff, inside handoff to Grimes, and that gains nothing. It was a handoff to Luke Thumb, who came in for that play. He's usually a cornerback, and he handed off inside to Ricky Grimes.
Coach Thumb said he was going to do a few more new things this game, and they've been practicing some new things this week, and that's something new that I haven't seen before as far as an inside handoff on that reverse. See what happens on second down.
Second and 10. Cavanaugh right behind Young. Backs are split. Grimes in motion. Fake to Grimes. Young rolling, pursued, looking, and throws it back across the middle to Thumb. Luke Thumb suddenly becoming an offensive force here for the Boylan Titans. A catch down to the 13-yard line.
What a great catch. What a great catch that Thumb had. Here it is again. This is their boot pass. They fake one way, backs go one way. Young sprints out the other way, throws back against the grain, and Thumb makes a diving catch. Great catch. Put it one place where defense couldn't get it. Good play.
1st and 10. Boylan on the Belvidere 13-yard line. Whistle slowing down play here. Have something off in the corner of the end zone here. And now we're ready to get the clock rolling again. 5:57 to go in the first quarter. Scoreless tie. Boylan threatening. Coach Bill Thumb said he was going to keep adding stuff to the offense, and he says he's actually enjoying it. Option play. Young keeps it, cuts it up, gets inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Pick up about 4 or 5 on that play.
That's a good call down on the goal line down here. With the shortened field, option play is one of the better calls down here, and Willie ran it to his left. This is something that Belvidere probably hasn't seen a lot from Boylan. So it's a new play. It's tough to defend down the goal line. They got a good gain out of it.
2nd down, call it 6 from inside the 10-yard line. Grimes, left end, breaks 2 tackles and gets down to near the 5. Set up about a 3rd and 2.
I would not be surprised to see Grimes get the ball a lot down here. He plays on the right side of Boylan's offense, whether it's at a halfback position, a wing, slot, or flanker position. He's on the right side, so they tend to run a lot left. And when they get down here in this kind of situation, they're going to give it to their best back, which is Ricky Grimes.
I sense Boylan enjoys being the underdog, and they have been throughout this playoff.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They love the position they're at. They've got nothing to lose. They're going to play hard.
3rd and 3. Grimes stuffed immediately by Adam McClinton and Brian Horkheimer. That play went nowhere, setting up a 4th and 5.
That's a big play down the goal line. Here it is again, going off tackle. Boylan likes to do this a lot on the goal line, is basically give it to Kavanaugh, run it off tackle, and Belvidere was right there to make a big stop. 4th down, it's going to be a big play.
And they are going for it. They are not going to kick the field goal. 4th down, they need to get to inside the 4-yard line. They are now at the 10.
Look for counter here. Grimes is in the slot.
Whistle stops play before it could get off. We have a flag in the...
Yes.
Looks like a delay of game. Coach Bill Thumb can't be pleased with that. Delay of game on the Boylan Titans. And now we're looking at a 4th down and 12, and that changes plans a little bit. At least it changes the play. Checking in now is Ryan Hoskinson, and it looks like
they've got ball right in the middle of the field. They could go either way.
And they're going with a field goal here. Get on the board first. Aaron Cassiope, the senior place kicker, wide receiver. Willie Young, the holder. It is no good, off to the left. So we remain scoreless. We'll be back with more in a second. All right, Belvidere Bucs facing a 3rd and 3, a 3-yard gain by Aaron Latino on 1st down, a 4-yard gain by Magoo Martinez on 2nd down. Belvidere in a 3rd and 3, a long 3 situation. Jeff Gardner in the bonus split again. Handoff to Latino, stuffed at the line of scrimmage by the Boylan defense. Joe Farron leading the attack, number 58.
I'll tell you, talk about the battle on the line of scrimmage. There's no doubt that Boylan's winning on both sides. They're really coming off the ball well, establishing a new line of scrimmage. Play again, got a little fake to the fullback going one way, give it back to Latino. And I tell you what, Belvidere's defense is really pushing them back.
Andy Curley into punt. Back is Willie Young. Without Ricky Grimes back this time, they might be going for a block then. And the punt is off toward the Belvidere sidelines, and it rolls dead at about the 44-yard line, where the Boylan Titans will take over. They have the field position in the first quarter, but it remains scoreless with 2:02 to go.
I'll tell you that punt is very important. Still, it's going to keep pressure on Belvidere. Boylan's got great field position. They're almost in 4-down territory already, but that field position plays a big part in the football game.
Here come the Titans. They march down to inside the 10-yard line in the first possession, only to miss a field goal after a delay of game penalty. Handoff up the middle, and Kavanaugh scorched through for about 2 yards. Jeff Kavanaugh rushed for nearly 1,000 yards, 898 yards on the year, and 190 carries. He was the leading rusher for the Boylan Titans. Rick Grimes, 756 yards. He also caught passes for 326 yards, threw passes for another 100 yards, and returned kicks and punts and just about everything else you could ask for. Second down, 8 to go. Handoff to Danaher. Danaher gets cut down near the line of scrimmage. Nice force on that play by Lou Martinez, the strong safety of the Belvidere Bucs.
That's really Boylan's sweep, where they'll lead with their fullback. They'll pull the backside guard and lead out there, and Belvidere did an excellent job of containing that and turning it back into their pursuit.
Third down, under a minute to go in the first quarter. It has been a scoreless first quarter. 3rd and 8. Willie Young has Grimes and Cassiope out wide. Quick pop pass, covered. Scrambling now, pursued by McClinton, looking for Grimes, intercepted by one of 2 Bucs, and that's Kyle Cox with a pick.
What a nice play by Cox. Boylan wanted to have a quick slant to the split end on the left, and it was covered. Young took off to the right, and as you can see here, quick 3-step drop, looks, nobody there, sprints out, linebackers stay in their hook zones, make a big play.
Cox's 2nd interception of the year. Here comes Belvidere, and somebody coming at Cassiope got onto the field late for the, actually Newble got onto the field late for that defense. 12 seconds to go in the first half, in the first quarter, and is scoreless. Titans got Newble back on the line, on the field, and Belvidere got 4 yards on the play, and we are at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back with more. Scoreless tie after 1 quarter. We'll be back with the Class 5A state semifinal, Boylan and Belvidere. Second down, and 6 yards to go for the Belvidere Bucs. Anthony Rothman on the sidelines has this report. Anthony.
All right, thanks a lot, Andy. I'm with Brian Pottinger, Vern's son. Brian, I know you're an assistant coach with the Rock Island, but tell me how you think the Bucs defense is going to do today.
Well, they had a nice goal line stand there down the beginning. Hopefully they can come up with another big game like they did against us.
They shut you guys out. How did that happen?
They sure did. I don't know. I didn't have the wishbone solved, I guess.
You're an assistant with the Rock Island, but I heard you had purple tights on underneath that coach's uniform.
That's supposed to be a secret.
Who are you rooting for today? Your dad, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Belvidere all the way.
All right, thanks a lot, Brian.
You bet.
Andy?
Third down, Magoo Martinez is stuffed at the line of scrimmage again. The Boylan Titans seem to have the confidence that they know how to stop the Belvidere attack, and Belvidere will be punting again.
I tell you, that's really a great play by the nose man, Lapik, who's in for Minardi. Wrapped him up real good, didn't let him get away, could have easily broke that tackle. Big play.
Third punt of the game for the Belvidere Bucs. Andy Curley doing the honors again. 2 men back. Tom Hernandez and Rick Grimes. Curley angles toward the near sideline. Grimes in hot pursuit, lets it bounce, and it stops at the 1. It'll be Boylan ball inside the 1-yard line. That is a big kick from Andy Curley. We'll have more from Titan Stadium after this message. Second and 7 for the Boylan Titans, backed up on their own end line. Ricky Grimes with a handoff, cuts back and picks up near first down yardage across the 10-yard line. That was a big cutback move by Rick Grimes there.
It sure was. I tell you,
that's Brian Danaher, Mike.
When the ball is down there that deep of territory, offense just wants to get a first down and get it out of there. Here they give it to Danaher, who makes a good cutback run, some of the Belvidere defenders over pursuit and gets first down. That's a big, big play for Boylan.
1st and 10 for the Boylan Titans in this scoreless tie. 10 minutes to go in the first half.
I'm sure Belvidere just wants to stop here. They want to get that good field position so they can get their offense to the ball and good, ready to go.
Here comes Grimes around left end, and he picks up another 4 yards before he was tackled by a swarm of Buck defenders. Coach Bill Thumb sending plays in with wide receiver split end Chris Hand, rotating Hand and Menke.
If you watch Boylan play, you'll notice that they are very good cutback runners. They've been that way over the years. They always, they'll stretch you and get people to pursue, and then they'll cut back, and that's where their big gains always come from.
2nd down, about 5. Young pitches back behind him. It is fumbled and dribbled and loose ball on the turf. It looks like Belvidere got to it first, but Kavanaugh retrieves it and keeps it in the Titans' possession, and he picked up 4 yards on the play.
Here's a play again. Belvidere's eagle down to the split end side, and they've really got this defense pretty well from the very start. The pitch goes behind him, and but Grimes is able to recover, or Kavanaugh.
3rd down and 1. Boylan has moved it out of the shadow of its own goalpost, but they still want to reestablish that field position. Willie Young brings the Titans up. Grimes in motion. Handoff to Kavanaugh. 1st down, yardage. Gain 5 following the blocking of Reggie De La Rosa, number 53.
That's a big, big play. Belvidere, they went down. They were looking for something inside all the way. Boylan went off tackle and broke it. Here we go. We got a reverse pivot by Willie Young. He's going to give the ball to Kavanaugh. Gets hit just barely at the line of scrimmage. Keeps driving for 1st down.
1st and 10, the 26-yard line. Fake handoff to Grimes. Young passing, finds Cassiope in the seam near the 40-yard line. 1st down, yardage again. Nice read by Willie Young.
This is Boylan's favorite pass play. They it's their boot pass. They'll have their backs go one way, which again is usually to their left, so their quarterback can sprint out to the right. They've got a drag man coming across. In this case, it was their split end Cassiope, and made a nice throw and catch for 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Boylan is having success moving the ball against the Buck defense. Handoff to Danaher, round right end, cuts through a couple tackles and gains about 3 on the play.
Boylan's doing a real nice job of controlling the ball and keeping Belvidere's offense off the field, and that's what ideally any coach and any team wants to do. They want to try to keep that wishbone offense off the field, and Boylan's done a really good job of doing that.
2nd and 7 for the Titans. Coach Thumb said he was going to open up the offense more. Willie Young has thrown the ball already 5 or 6 times in the game, and he's going again. Looking long, throws it up for grabs and out of bounds. Grimes the intended receiver, but Young just threw that one away.
Yeah, this time they went to sprint right. They had both backs out blocking in front of Young, and Young saw that everybody was covered, especially Grimes downfield, and he just threw it out of bounds. Good play. Keep the ball, 3rd down, long yardage.
Young is 15 for 40 passing this year. Not impressive statistics by any means, but Coach Bill Thumb likes the confidence that Willie Young brings to a game. He likes his experience. He likes his savvy. He's got 3 touchdown passes this year. I believe all 3 in the McHenry playoff game that Boylan won in overtime. 3rd and 7 now for the Bucks, for the Titans. Young rolling. McClinton nearly gets him. Avoids another tackle, then throws it and it's picked off almost by Ron Barr. He dropped the ball. He had the ball and the interception in a lot of green grass ahead of him.
I'll tell you, we almost had a couple big plays on both sides of the ball. Willie Young, scooting around back there, almost made a big play back there. Then he made a throw, and Barr almost picked it off and had 6. But again, there's been a couple drop balls by Belvidere's secondary. Otherwise, it might be a different ball game.
Cassiope into punt, back to receive for the Belvidere Bucs. Short kick, and it's going out of bounds. doesn't quite make it out of bounds, but it'll be Belvidere ball at the 30-yard line. And we'll be right back with more from this scoreless tie at Titan Stadium. Second down and 8. We have a little kink in the chain on the far side of the field, and 2nd and 10 is the situation. As why can Boylan stop Belvidere's offense? Nobody else has that kind of success, but Boylan can. What do they do that other teams can't seem to do?
Well, they've got some awfully good people up front. That's the biggest thing. And they're tough kids, and they tackle well.
Pass play. First pass attempt from Jeff Gardner, and it clicks to number 80 for the Bucs, Chuck Leonard, the tight end, picks up 12 yards on the play to the far side. First down.
Here we got play action left. Gardner sets up, throws, makes a good catch, stays in bounds. Thumb makes a good hit out of bounds.
1st and 10. Belvidere trying to mount a drive. And another pass. This one lobbed up to Latino, covered well by Tom Hernandez.
Every pass that Belvidere throws is always off of play action. They always give a little fake to the fullback, and then they'll run their various routes out of that. On that particular play, they had slot right. They had their split end, McClenthan, run a quick post, and then Peace came out of the backfield, and he went up the sideline, just threw it incomplete.
Doing a little work on Jay Larson, the Boylan center, on the sidelines. Meanwhile, a fake pass and a plunge ahead to Shad Pease, I believe, the ball carrier, on the counter play there. And that picked up approximately 3 yards. And once again, Belvidere facing a 3rd and long. Vern Pottinger trying to solve that Boylan defense. When you say break the bone, Dean, what does that entail? They're in the wishbone now, but and there's a give to Magoo, and it looks like he will be short of first down yardage. The fullback cannot get it done at this point for the Belvidere Bucs.
Basically, when they're breaking the bone, they're moving one of the halfbacks out to a wing or slot position, either on the split end side or the tight end side. And I know Coach Pottinger put that in this year because of the problems that Boylan's defense has been giving them. And
he might have to go back to the drawing board again, because that's not working either. The 4th punt of the game for Andy Curley. And it's, for those of us that watch Belvidere a lot, it's amazing to see them stagnated this successfully by one team. We're going to have a commercial break here. Scoreless tie. Boylan getting the football. We come right back on WIFR TV. We're back to Titans Stadium. The first down play for the Boylan Titans was not a play, a motion penalty, and now it'll be 1st and 15 for the Titans.
I'm sure at this point, Boylan's thinking, let's put together a nice long drive, get some points on the board, and let's keep Belvidere's offense off the field.
It's only the Titans' 2nd penalty of the game. The first one costly. It forced them to go for a field goal, a long field goal, and it was wide left. Now it is a 2nd down for Willie Young and the Titans. He's rolling again, looking to pass, and Cassiope drops it right in front of the yard markers, out of bounds and incomplete.
Little play action pass off the counter on that particular play. Cassiope was open near the sideline, near the first down marker. Just threw it a little bit high.
3rd and 10, 4:39 to go in the first half. No score yet in this game. Did you expect this kind of a defensive battle?
Yeah, I really did. Both teams really played very good defense, especially Boylan. They were, like I said at the beginning of the game, conference leading team in defense, and Belvidere is pretty good on defense too.
They've been playing some of their best defense lately in the playoffs. Young rolling again, back pass over to Mark Bliven, and that is a loss of nearly 10 yards. Belvidere smelled that one out, and doing the smelling, number 60, Todd Lay, one of the co-captains.
That's a real typical call on 3rd and long, and Boylan runs that quite a bit. Lay is right out there the whole time, makes a great play. Actually, was lucky that it was an incomplete pass. He didn't lose quite as much on that. So,
4th down, punting situation again. Cassiope will be punting from his end zone, back at the 50-yard line to receive the punt for the Belvidere Bucs. Aaron Latino And the ball is down. Latino goes after it. We got kind of a melee here, and it might be. Latino did touch the ball there. I don't know why.
I tell you, that's not a good play by Boylan. If the ball's moving around, when they have to down it, they should pick it up and then give it to the official. If they touch the ball and it's still moving after that, the receiving team, they can pick it up and never lose the ball again.
Oh, okay.
So here they come down. Looks like Bliven comes in, and it's still moving. It's still moving after. Now it's touched there, and Belvidere can pick it up and they can fumble it and never lose the ball because it'll come back to that spot.
Belvidere offense trying the fullback again. Magoo Martinez off the right side gets 3 yards. Let's check in with Anthony Rothman on the sidelines.
Andy and Dean, thanks a lot. We're down on the field here. You know, all the parents that are here, and there are a lot of parents here, they're all sitting. But check out the student section. They don't sit. They just stand the whole game. I guess you can keep warm that way. Back up to you.
2nd down and 7. And we're standing too, by the way, Anthony, and we're enjoying it as well. 2nd and 7 for the Belvidere Bucs. Finally on Boylan's side of the field, and that's the fullback again, Magoo Martinez, and he picks up another 3 to 4 yards.
I'll tell you, they did something kind of interesting there, Andy, right before the beginning of the play. Pease and Latino switched sides. And we know that Pease is a really good blocker, and Latino is a really good runner. And I don't know if it looks like they're switching sides again. Let's see what happens on this play.
Gardner keeps it, fake the handoff to Magoo, and they get 1st down yardage near the 30-yard line. Maybe one of the few 1st downs the Belvidere Bucs have had so far this game.
Well, again, usually Latino is the left halfback in the wishbone, and Pease is the right halfback. Now they're switching, maybe to take advantage of each of those players' strength. Pease is a better blocker, Latino's a better runner.
Hand off to Magoo inside, and he is finding a little soft spot now in that Titan defense. He picks up another 3 to 4 yards. They just keep hammering at you with the Magoo Martinez or whoever the fullback of the year happens to be.
They sure do. They just keep pounding at you. They rarely make mistakes on offense or defense. They're in really good position right now.
28-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Gardner looking to pass to McClinton. 1st down yards inside the 20 to the 18.
Excellent timing route on that one. Looks like McClinton's hurt a little bit. He got hit right in the middle of his back, and he's still down on the sideline. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him.
We'll have Anthony check on the status of Matt McClinton. Well, right now we'll take a break here on WIFR TV. The Nick 9 Showdown continues. Stay with WIFR TV for the halftime report, featuring first half highlights and TV 23's special report, Hometown Heroes. Action sports reporter Anthony Rothman continues his series spotlighting notable athletes from the state line area, including 2 key competitors in today's game. They're the players who've helped get their teams to this playoff point. We'll tell you what makes them so extra special during WIFR TV's halftime report. Matt McClinton still being treated on the near sidelines. He took a pop from Rick Grimes in the middle of the back and may just have knocked the wind out of his sails. It's hard to speculate from up here, but he is receiving a lot of attention. The senior wide receiver for the Belvidere Bucs has been a key to their success this year. This year McClinton has caught 14 passes for 345 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's an average of 24 yards a catch. And he caught that one big touchdown pass from Aaron Latino in the Belvidere Boylan game October 8th, and that was the 4th and 9 halfback option play that led to Belvidere's 21-20 victory. McClinton about ready to get up on his own power. That is good to see.
Okay, here we see a little timing route, throws it out to McClinton, makes a nice catch, tries to turn to get upfield. Grimes hits him in the bag. It was a clean shot. It's good tackle, good sure tackle. Looks like he's going to be all right.
Checking in now to replace McClinton is number 88, Andy Baird. Andy Baird flanked out to the left. Corey Janish, who's been hurt much of this year, is on the right for the Belvidere Bucs. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. The deepest penetration of the Bucs. Fake to Magoo. Gardner keeps it, cuts it through, avoids tacklers, and spins down near the 5-yard line. Big run for Jeff Gardner.
What a nice run by Gardner. They went double split with the wishbone in the back. Fake to the fullback, of course. They went left. He made a nice cutback and also got some extra yards on his own.
He just avoids Joe Farron.
Little cutback there. Down inside the 10.
1st and goal from the 7. Fake to Martinez, but this time it's smelled out. Number 87 of the Boylan defense comes up and knocks it loose. And that is Jim Garvin. He is a sophomore brought up.
I tell you, in goal line defense, your pride's got to drive you crazy, and nobody's better at that than Boylan is. They came up with a big play. Here we go, 2nd and goal.
From the 9-yard line now. Looking to pass, whistle stops play. Tell you, Boylan, Coach Thumb says this defense is not the most talented he's ever had, but every game somebody different steps up.
Here we go. Here's another loss of yardage on an
Dead ball foul. False start.
Illegal
Offense,
procedure play.
Still 2nd down.
Let's check in with Anthony Rothman on the sidelines. Anthony.
All right, Andy, thanks a lot. Matt McClellan, as you saw, walking off under his own power. He took a big shot from Ricky Grimes. I was right on top of it. They first feared maybe broken ribs, the worst thing, but he is okay. Just the wind knocked out of him. Tough kid. Send it back to you.
2nd and goal from the 14-yard line for the Belvidere Bucs. Latino up the middle, stopped after a 3-yard gain.
They broke the bone again that time. They actually went strong right. They had a split right, wing right, and a halfback right. Little fake to the fullback, and then the counter dive back to Latino, and linebacker made a good play. Actually, their nose man.
They've broken the bone again. What are the advantages to this?
It just spreads you out, gives you a little bit bigger running lanes.
Magoo Martinez gets the handoff, and he is not close to the end zone. They needed to score a touchdown. It was 3rd and goal from the 10. We have a whistle, stop and play. Timeout Belvidere, and we'll be back after this timeout right here on WIFR TV. It's a scoreless duel and a timeout duel. Belvidere calls the timeout, and Boylan promptly follows with a timeout of its own. Andy Curley has checked in. Chilly Boylan fans, but they know who they want to win here. Andy Curley has checked in for what looks to be a Belvidere field goal attempt, and that would be somewhat rare this year, Dean.
Yeah, they haven't attempted a field goal all year in conference play or in the playoffs. This is a good call by Coach Pottinger. That was good call by Coach Boylan and Coach Thumb of Boylan to let him think about it here a little bit. I'd be real surprised if it's a fake.
25-yard attempt. Jeff Gardner doing the holding. Dead center, middle of the field. Aaron Cassiope of Boylan missed earlier in the 1st quarter. 30 seconds to go in the half. It is scoreless. Curley up. And good. Belvidere Bucs get on the board. Andy Curley, 25-yarder, gives the Bucs a 3-zip lead. We'll have the rest of the first half in a moment. Rafael Avila with a squib kick caught Boylan off guard, and it looks like the Belvidere Bucs have recovered at the 45-yard line with 23 seconds to go. Avila bounced it. Boylan was not anticipating it. Antoine Newble had it in his hands, but it squirted loose. And now Belvidere can get a cheap score at the end of the first half. They lead at 3-0, clock running, 15 seconds to go. Handoff to Magoo. Breaks one tackle and gets stuffed by a host of Titan defenders at the 40-yard line. It looks like timeout for the Belvidere Bucs. Now, what do you call, Coach? You got 9 seconds to go. You go for the downs here and try and put one in the air and go long.
Well, they've got one timeout left, 9 seconds to go. On this onside, Belvidere always squibs the kick. I don't think they were planning on squibbing the kick actually this short. But sometimes these things happen. Bounces off a Newble. Belvidere makes a big play in the recovery. Now, it's 2nd and 5, so they're in a situation where they can pass or run still. They want to be able to get some first downs, but I'm sure they feel that Boylan's going to sit back a little bit, and Boylan just wants to keep them out of the end zone. They've got a long way to go yet before they get in field goal range, so they're going to probably loosen up a little bit, soften up their technique, and make sure all the passes are caught in front of them, and they're going to try to keep them inbounds so the clock's running.
9 seconds to go, and 1 timeout remaining for the Belvidere Bucs. Belvidere just has taken a 3-zip lead on a 25-yard field goal from Andy Curley, who is approaching a Belvidere scoring record, I might add. Vern Pottinger and Bill Thumb trying to get into halftime close here, and Vern Pottinger trying to add to that his 3-0 lead. Wide receivers are Baird on the near side. And they're looking long to Corey Janish. He throws it up to him, and he nearly caught it. Broken up at the last second by Mark Bliven. Janish, a great athlete, decathlete in the offseason, has been hurt much of the year, and he went on the fly pattern and nearly came up with it, but Boylan got there just in time.
I tell you what, it looked like a great throw and great route the whole way. It was right on the money. Bliven made a nice tip away at the very end to prevent a touchdown. Otherwise, he was in for 6.
Another timeout for the Belvidere Bucs. We're down to 2 seconds to go in the first half.
They used their last timeout. This is definitely the last play unless there's a defensive penalty. I would look for something kind of tricky, either a halfback pass. It could be a hook and ladder where one guy's going to curl and they're going to pitch the ball back to somebody else. So this is the last play. They've either got to throw it in the end zone or they got to do something a little bit unusual to get it there.
Willie Young has checked into the Titan defensive backfield. So they'll be playing with Grimes, Hernandez, Thumb, Bliven, Willie Young, and Jeff Cavanaugh all playing deep. Two seconds to go. 40-yard line. The Bucs have the football and a 3-0 lead.
I would look for something maybe to, Latino's probably the fastest kid on the team. I would look for something maybe up the sideline or even maybe right down the middle to Latino.
Gardner under center, Latino in motion. They run the option. They pitch to Latino. He can throw it, but he's sacked by Mark Bliven, and we will go to halftime with the Belvidere Bucs leading the Boylan Titans 3-0. That halfback pass familiar to what won the game for Belvidere last year on October 8th.
We got Latino in motion. They fake to Martinez up the middle. Gardner pitches it out. They sent some receivers way downfield. You see he's got the option to pass or throw. But I tell you what, Bliven was ready for him, made a big play. 3-0 halftime.
Looked like Latino had a man open down the seam, but he never got his feet set and never got the pass off to get to him. So we are at halftime here, this Class 5A state football semifinal. The Belvidere Bucs leading the Boylan Titans 3-0. We now join Anthony Rothman on the sidelines with Buck head coach Vern Pottinger. Anthony.
Vern, assess your team's performance in the first half.
I think we're playing good football. And they're playing very good football, and it's kind of what I expected. They've got 9 people on the line of scrimmage trying to take away our running game, and so we're going to have to put the ball up a little and do some other things.
Got to be happy with the defense so far. No points, and they came up big here with a stop earlier.
Defense has played great. Could have had even a couple more interceptions where we got our hands on it and just couldn't come up with it.
So you feel good going into halftime?
Yeah, we're pleased where we're at.
All right, thanks, Vern. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Andy, back up to you. 3-0 Belvidere.
That's right, Anthony. A defensive struggle, to say the least. We'll have more on the halftime report after this break. In sports, the Belvidere Bucs deferred. They won the toss, they deferred, and they are electing to kick off. So, does that surprise you at all, Dean?
I thought Boylan won the toss and deferred, so they're getting the ball in the second half. You know, the game is really even, and I'm sure it's still anybody's ball game. 24 minutes left. It's virtually 0-0, and I think we got a whale of a second half coming up.
Coach Vern Pottinger talked about his Buck defense earlier this week in a conversation I had with the coach. Meanwhile, Rafael Villa is ready to tee it off here as we start the second half. Avia, of course, last time squibbed one, and he kind of bloops one down the middle of the field again. One hop to Rick Grimes. Grimes picks it up at the 20, cuts through, surges ahead to the 37-yard line. The Bucs defense will be tested now, and Coach Vern Pottinger says it's passed a lot of tests so far in the playoffs.
Probably 4 or 5 games. We've had, I probably could say 10 short yardage situations. I'm talking about, either 3rd and 2 where teams went 2 downs and didn't make it, or 4th and 1 or less than 1 where teams could not get the first down against our defense. And there's probably 10 of those in the last 4 or 5 games. And so we're playing very well in those situations.
I'm sure Coach Thumb, like he said at halftime, is going to try to establish the run. And Jeff Cavanaugh is the guy to do it. I'm sure they're going to try to run inside, get some tough yardage inside, control the ball. Again, they want to keep Belvidere's offense off the field. That time they were double tight with Grimes flank to the right, and try to go inside, gain a 1.
Kyle Cox on the tackle. He is the Bucs' leading tackler this year. 2nd down, 9. Young handoff to Danaher. That is stopped. Once again, Adam McClinton in on the tackle, as well as Rob Anderson, this skinny, little 136-pound nose tackle.
I tell you,
what's the philosophy of a small nose tackle?
Well, you can see right here, he's right in the guard center gap, and he's just going to try to create some havoc, get some penetration, and then he just hustles and pursues to the ball and gets in on part of the tackle. It's just good hustle.
Belvidere has had a tradition of small nose tackles, and Anderson fits right in. He's a junior. 3rd down now, and back to 10 yards for the Boylan Titans. And back to pass is Young. Young is looking and underthrows his receiver, Chris Hand, and it'll be a punting situation for the Boylan Titans. Not exactly the way they wanted to get the second half off. No, Young comes off limping as well. That is something we will have to...
Got a little play-action pass. Looks to me like he might have got hit a little bit. He winds up, just doesn't throw very well. Comes up a little short. 4th down, they got to punt it away.
Cassiope back to punt for the Bucs. Sevilla and Latino returning for the Boylan Titans, or for the Belvidere Bucs. Short kick again by Cassiope. Bounces toward Avia, and it's going to be down about the 32-yard line where the Belvidere Bucs will take over.
Not a real good punt by Boylan, but they got a pretty decent roll out of it. No return. They're taking over into the 32-yard line. I'm sure they want to establish something right away. They want to be able to drive the ball down here and add to this 3-0 lead.
Belvidere feed off that any momentum they may have picked off by scoring near the end of the first half there?
Yeah, I think definitely when you go down in this kind of close ball game and get down there and put some points on the board so you have a little bit of an edge going into halftime, that's got to give you a little bit of boost coming out for the second half.
Jeff Gardner calling the plays at the line. Full wishbone with Magoo Martinez and Latino. And Magoo slams through the middle. And he got about 3 yards before he was pushed back strongly by Ricky Grimes and Steve Menke.
I tell you, that's a really nice football play. They hand it off to Magoo Martinez. He's running hard. He gets hit, breaks a tackle. Here comes Grimes. Comes up. What a good form tackle. Keeps his feet going and drives him back in it. That's good all the way around.
38 yards rushing in the first half for Martinez on 11 carries. And he gets his 13th now as Grimes and number 20 for the Belvidere get into things a little bit. Anthony Rothman on the sidelines. Anthony, what do you have for us?
All right, Andy, it's really interesting the way Vern Pottinger sends in his plays. We can take a look right here. He's going to signal a play to his receivers, his backs, then that's for the formation. Then the quarterback actually calls the play, and he can call it based on saying whatever it is, right side or left side. So this is basically a pro situation here at Belvidere, where the way they send the plays in, they have a dummy play caller, and then they have the one that's really sending in the play. So it's almost impossible to steal the plays from the other sideline. Back to you.
3rd down run comes up close enough for a measurement. Coach, you've coached against Vern Pottinger. Can you steal those signals, and do you want to?
I don't think you can. They're so sophisticated in what they can do, and And I don't know that there's enough time between plays to really be able to relay that to your defensive players and get anything out of it on a consistent basis. Not only do they have a live signaler on one side of Coach Pottinger and a dummy caller on the other side, but I'm sure their quarterback is able to change the play in the line of scrimmage, so you really can't pick up anything from that. It's almost a foolproof system that Belvidere runs.
Boylan Titans stop them again. 4th and inches, and the Boylan Titans force a Buck punt. And Andy Curley back to punt. Willie Young and Rick Grimes are back deep for the Titans. Good kick again by Curley. Young catches it. He's got nowhere to go as he is snagged by Eric Nelson. We'll be right back with more. 3-0, Belvidere leading in the third quarter. .8:47 in the third quarter. The Bucks are happy. They have a 3-0 lead over the Boylan Titans in this Class 5A state semifinal game. Willie Young and the Titans taking over possession of the ball on their own 33-yard line. Young rolling and looking long, and he overthrows just about everybody except Paul Salto. Interception for the free safety of the Belvidere Bucs, their second interception of the game. Salto with a diving reception and interception of Willie Young.
Boylan comes out on first down and play action passes. Here we see it. Here we've got fake one way. Young sets up, throws it. Salto makes a real nice play of laying off this ball, watching it into his hands, leaving his feet. That's a great play.
Belvidere fans standing on the other side of the field. Belvidere back in possession of the ball. And they have broken the bone again. Now, what does this do?
It really spreads you out a little bit more. It also gives you a little bit more of a passing threat where you have two men on the same side right on the line of scrimmage where they're immediate threats.
And they are passing. Gardner pressured by Ryan Hoskinson and ridden down by Hoskinson. The defenses are taking control of this game.
Big play by Boylan's defense. Little play action again. Belvidere always play action passes. They never do any kind of straight drop kind of passing, but no one was fooled and was able to sack him. Here we got a little play action on the counter dive. Comes in, people are covered. Looks like he wanted to go to Latino. Hoskinson makes a great play.
2nd and 17. Loss of about 6 or 7 on that play. Latino in motion, make that Pease in motion, a handoff. Back through the middle, ball pops loose and looks like it's a fumble. He might have been ruled down. Aaron Latino was stuck good, and they rule him down. The ball popped loose after he was down. Belvidere maintains possession. Latino getting up slowly and will have to come out of the game.
I tell you, good deception on Belvidere's part. Fake to the fullback going one way, came back, gave it to Latino. And Boylan really came up and made a big hit on him, and Latino's shaking up. He's coming off. I tell you what, I'll bet he's back, though.
Jason Walker in for Latino, and offensive lineman jumps off. Offsides, Belvidere. That'll move him back 5. This is third down play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Still 3rd down.
For those of you anticipating the Shark shootout on CBS, we got a shootout of our own going here at Titan Stadium. Boylan and Belvidere, 3-0 Bucks leading in the Class 5A state football semifinal.
I tell you, 3rd and 13 is a tough position for any coach to call play.
Gardner looking to pass, looking to go long. Chuck Leonard is open. First down. Luke Thumb lost coverage on that play. Chuck Leonard with a 16-yard reception.
That is a really big play for Belvidere. That's a play they needed to keep their drive going, to try to establish something. They faked one way to the fullback. Gardner comes back, looks the other way. Good timing route. Leonard makes a good cut and a good grab. There's a good sure tackle by Thumb.
45-yard line in Boylan Titan territory. Magoo Martinez slams up the middle for 4 yards.
I tell you, it's still rough going right up the middle. Boylan, they are tough up the middle against the run. They've got some good kids down in front, and their linebackers are always going to make some plays.
Anthony Rothman on the sidelines. Anthony, what's going on down there?
All right, Andy, Aaron Latino is here, and as you saw, he was shaken up, kind of limped off the field, but right now he is getting a re-tape job. Looks like he just rolled it a little bit. He'll be back in as soon as he gets this thing taped up and the shoe back on. Back up to you.
Second down. Handoff again to Martinez. Finds a little more running room. Near first down yardage. Looks like he'll be a yard short. He went off a left tackle that play.
I think that was second man through that time. They faked to Magoo, and they gave it to Pease. Pease is a pretty good runner. He's a hard runner. And made a good gain out of it. Third and short.
Coach Bill Thumb hoping his defense can come up strong one more time. Third and 2 yards for the Belvidere Bucs. Fake to Magoo and Pease again with a strong 5-yard carry. First down Belvidere near the 30-yard line.
I tell you, Andy, with Latino out now, that's going to really hamper their running game and what they can do. So now Pease is going to be the guy that's going to have to carry him. They come back with the same play. It's just Magoo and Pease in the backfield. They fake to Magoo. They give to the second man through Pease, and he gets a big first down for him.
Jason Walker, the third back in the Titan backfield, in the Buck backfield. Handoff again to Pease. He's become the workhorse, and this guy is overcoming a case of fumbleitis he had earlier in the year, and looks like he's doing a respectable job on the slams up the middle.
This is their counter dive, only this time Pease is running. He hasn't had a lot of chances this year to run this play, but he can do the job. He's a determined kid. He's going to do all right back there.
Chad Pease is a senior 180-pounder, 343 yards rushing this year. That one's up the middle to Magoo Martinez, and he is ridden down. That was Pease again, I'm sorry.
I tell you, Belvidere does a good job of faking. It's really hard to tell who's got the ball. But they came back with Pease again to the left side, and Boylan made a big stop on that. Third and long.
3rd and 8, 30-yard line. 4 down territory for the Bucs if they don't get it here in all likelihood. Vern Pottinger signaling in to Jeff Gardner. Gardner calling. He's got Andy Baird split out on one side, and he's looking to pass again. Chuck Leonard over the middle gets hit by Luke Thumb and Mark Bliven. Bliven with the big stick. Looked a little early to me, but it's good enough for an incomplete pass.
I thought it was good timing, a good play. You can see Gardner's going to fake to the right first. Leonard's coming from the other side. I thought he was open a little bit earlier than that, but he really makes a good throw. That's just a good play all the way around. Nothing you can do about that. The ball's thrown where it should be, and Bliven makes a great hit. 4th down, big play.
Good timing on Mark Bliven's part as well, yes. 4th and 8, 30-yard line. Boylan fans standing up, rooting on their defense. Back to pass again. Gardner looking. Intercepted by Mark Bliven. Another turnover. First one for the Bucs, but another one in the game.
Big play for the Titans. Came out wishbone, but double split. Both receivers came out, did a first down route, and Boylan was just waiting for it. Bliven made a good play.
So Boylan takes over now on their own 22-yard line. Boylan needs to establish a running game.
Tell you, Boylan wants to come out right now and get a couple first downs and kind of get the ball out of their own territory here. They're gonna probably put the ball on the ground, control the ball a little bit, give their defense a chance to rest.
Willie Young brings the Titans up to the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10.
Counter.
Inside handoff. Ricky Grimes is met by Horkheimer and Rob Anderson. Also Adam McClenton on the stop. That play was doomed from the start.
What a nice defensive play by Belvidere. They're fired up. They know what they got to do. They're thinking right now, don't give them a first down. They want to keep the ball down on this end of the field. If they do force them to punt, then they're going to get the ball about midfield in good position to come down and score.
Sun coming out here in the third quarter. 3:12 to go. Belvidere leading 3-0 over the Boylan Titans. Boylan's facing a 2nd and 13 pitch to Grimes around the right end, and that gets back to the original line of scrimmage and not a whole lot further.
I tell you, a quick pitch out to Grimes. Corner came up, did a good job of containing it, and Kyle Cox is just inside out pursuing like crazy, and they stop it for a short game. I tell you, Belvidere, they know what's on the line, they know what the situation is, and they know they don't want to give Boylan a first down.
Cox this year with 67 tackles and assisted on another 41. He is the leading tackler, and Rick Grimes is yet to get untracked for the Boylan Titans. Young looking to throw, leads Menke by a little too much. That'll force a Boylan punt.
Big stop. It forces them to punt. They're going to get the ball in good field position. It's a great stand by Belvidere's defense.
It's been a game of great defensive stands. Coach Bill Thumb talking to Willie Young on the sidelines. Do you maybe go to Aaron Hobson, the junior, who has had a better success passing the ball this year?
Well, you got to remember that Boylan's got the lead, so they're not in that much trouble right now. I'm sure he's going to stay with Willie unless he gets hurt.
Belvidere with a 3-0 lead. Another short kick from Cassiope down at the Titan 45-yard line. Belvidere will take over in Boylan field position, and we'll be right back with more on WIFR TV. First down run by Magoo Martinez. Looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he spins out of it and picks up 8 yards.
Big first down play for the Bucs. They're going to give it to Magoo. I tell you, it did look like he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but he kept those feet churning. Got 8.5, 9 yards on it. 2nd and short.
Must say, junior Rob Labeck has played very well at nose tackle for the Boylan Titan defense. He is filling in for Tony Minardi, who has been kicked off the Titan team. And Labeck leads the team in tackles after the first half. Well, look, Coach Pottinger will signal in a first down play. And number 27, Jason Walker on one side, and Rob Rule, the backup quarterback, on the other side, will then signal in the rest of the play. One is a live signaler, the other is a dummy signaler. Then Jeff Gardner takes that information and calls one of 2 calls at the line of scrimmage. Both calls mean the same play. This time it's a wishbone right and a handoff to Magoo Martinez. Gain of 5 yards.
Good first down play for the Bucs. Latino's back in now at running back, but McClinton's still out. He must be more injured than what was previously thought. He hasn't been back in yet. So
Andy Barrett is filling in at wide receiver for Matt McClinton, who was drilled in the back by Rick Grimes. He got a timeout on the field. The officials calling time. We should also say that every time, if it's a wishbone right, for example, which the last play was, it has its own snap count. So every wishbone right is run on 1 or 2 or something like that. Every play has a snap count attached to it, and it's the same snap count throughout the course of the game.
Here they've broken the bone again with Latino in the slot.
And Magoo Martinez, fake to Magoo, and Jeff Gardner takes it near first down yardage again as Belvidere is starting to pile up the yards. They are inside the 25-yard line. We have a minute 13 to go in the third quarter.
We've got a good fake. Here we got Latino in motion. We've got a fake to Magoo up the middle. Gardner's going to keep going. We've got running back blocking on the contained guy, or the guy who's supposed to have Gardner on that particular option play, and he gets a big play. 3rd and short.
Number 72, Antoine Newble with the tackle for the Titans. He had 111 so far this year. There it is to Latino. Bust through the middle. 5. Touchdown, Belvidere. The counter play.
This play they have gotten a lot of yardage off of, and it's been real successful. It's because of that guy who just got done running it, Aaron Latino. They broke the bone. They've got split right, wing right, and they also had halfback right. And this counter dive is been, like I said, a big play for them all year. And that is certainly going to get Belvidere fired up. Now they've got the lead 6-3.
9-0 Belvidere in the lead. Going for the extra point, Andy Curley. And we are 2 scores down for the Boylan Titans as the extra point is no good, pulled to the left. 2 scores down for the Boylan Titans. We'll see if they can mount an offensive comeback when we come right back on WIFR TV. Back at Titan Stadium. 9-0, the Belvidere Bucs leading. Aaron Latino's 25-yard run right up the middle has given the Boylan Titans a big problem. They are now down 2 scores. Their offense has not been able to muster a running game. The kick is squibbed and picked up, not yet by Rick Grimes. He finally grabs it around the 10, and he is in trouble. Tackled by number 72, Jim Creighton, at the 13-yard line. Bad field position, 2 scores down. Let's go to Anthony Rothman on the sidelines. Anthony.
All right, thanks a lot, Andy. Earlier you were mentioning Matt McClenton. It is a little worse than first anticipated. They fear that he has bruised his spleen and near his sternum area. A very bad bruise. He will not be back in for the rest of the game. But I guess Aaron Latino, the ankle feels fine. He looked pretty good on that last play. Back to you.
I would say so. Aaron Latino busted open for a 25-yarder, and it is 9-0. The Belvidere Bucs leading. Option play for Willie Young and the Titans. Young keeps it and is forced out of bounds near the 20-yard line.
Boylan, I'm sure, is looking now. They've got to put something together to answer what Belvidere just did. They're 2 scores down. They need to come down and get some points on the board. They ran a little option play left that time. Looks like Willie's limping a little bit. He's still got good speed, though, and he can always break one at any time.
18 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Is razzle-dazzle and trick stuff out of desperation now, or is that what you got to turn to if you're the Boylan Titans?
Oh, I don't think so. There's still a lot of time left. Anything can happen. We've got a quarter to go yet. It's definitely no time to panic yet.
Ricky Grimes slams into a 3rd and 2 situation. And we are done with 3 quarters. The Belvidere Bucs have taken a 9-0 lead. We'll be back for the 4th quarter after this on WIFR TV. Bill Thumbs, Boylan Titans trailing the Belvidere Bucs 9-0. We are just ready to begin the 4th quarter of this Class 5A IHSA state semifinal. When Boylan sponsors an athletic event, considers that happening to be an extension of the classroom with the lessons to be learned as important as those coming out of a textbook. Among those lessons is good sportsmanship, a course which will serve everyone well in the game of life. Remember, sports, a winning attitude. This public service message from Boylan High School and WIFR TV. 3rd and 2. Boylan needs to get a first down, and they need one badly. And it is a pitch to Kavanaugh.
It's going to be close.
It will be close. Jeff Kavanaugh, the leading rusher for the Titans this year, 898 yards on 190 carries.
This is going to be a big measurement for the Boylan Titans. They quick pitch it out to Kavanaugh. He runs left. They're bringing the chains out.
You're the analyst, Dean. Did they make it or not? That's what you're here for.
I think they're a little short.
Kavanaugh, the senior running back, also plays linebacker as the 2nd leading tackler with 97 tackles for the Boylan Titans this year. Well, Dean, you're 0 for 1. First down, Boylan.
That's a big play. They needed that to keep it going. They're definitely going to have to answer to what Belvidere just did as far as putting the ball in the end zone. So they want to come down, get some kind of points on the score. On the scoreboard. They're 2 scores down. Even if they get a field goal, they'll be okay in this situation. But they need to do something now.
Mark Bliven and Luke Thumb check in. Kavanaugh and Danaher check out. So they're running with new backs. Bliven at the fullback spot. Grimes and Thumb. Thumb now in motion. Option does not work. Smelled out by Adam McClenton and Todd Lay. Willie Young never had a chance on that one.
I tell you, they've run a little more option in this game than I've seen them in the past. But Belvidere's really ready for it. They haven't given Young a chance to get outside at all or even to pitch it and get much yardage off of it. So
is Belvidere susceptible to option?
No, I don't think so. This is just one of the many things that Coach Thumb has in his arsenal, and they don't do it a lot, but it's enough that you have to practice against it and make sure it doesn't hurt you.
2nd and 11. Titans still looking at a 0 on the score. The pitch back from Grimes back to number 83. Nice run by Aaron Cassiope. Picks up about 7 yards. They're still 5 yards short of first down. That must be one of the new wrinkles that Coach Thumb was alluding to.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Cassiope, he's not very big, but he's pretty quick, and he can get the job done in those kind of situations.
Let's check in with Anthony Rothman on the Boylan Titans sidelines.
All right,
Anthony.
thanks a lot, Andy. This game, obviously, needless to say, is a really tough game for both teams. But number 42, Ryan Hoskinson, the defensive end for Boylan, he has asthma. That makes it that much tougher. So he comes off the field, and in between the screaming and yelling, all of the screaming and yelling, he will come back over to this area on the bench, and he will reach down and grab his asthma medicine right here. I'd say he's a pretty tough kid, and like I said, in between all the screaming and yelling, he doesn't care. Just takes a little push of this, and he's back in the game. Back to you.
There's a lot of screaming and yelling on that last play. A first down for the Boylan Titans. They move it out to the 40-yard line. That middle screen to Steve Menke again works effectively. Second time that play has worked for Willie Young and the Titans.
Boy, a big first down for the Titans. Keeps this drive alive.
9:54 to go. Young rolling right, looking to pass. Bliven batted away by Kyle Cox. Bliven and Thumb in the same area, and Young tried to feather that one in there, and Kyle Cox was ready.
I tell you, that's their boot pass again, to the right again. Had people open, he underthrew it. I think he was trying to get it over that under coverage, over that linebacker, but didn't do it. Here he comes. He's going to sprint right. He wants to get it just over this linebacker. Takes a little bit too much off of it. He's lucky Belvidere didn't come up with a pick on that one.
2nd and 10. 9-0 Bucks leading. Fourth quarter. Grimes in motion, option left. Willie Young kind of runs out of the option, but manages to get back to the line of scrimmage. That option had nobody to pitch to after a while.
Yeah, I tell you, Young came down the line of scrimmage and kind of started angling away from the line of scrimmage instead of going more towards it. Grimes cut up, didn't keep a very good pitch relationship, so there was nobody for Young to pitch it to, and Belvidere was up, ready to contain it.
Another key third down situation for the Boylan Titans. They made a 3rd and 2, they made a 3rd and 7, now they're facing a 3rd and 10. Coach Bill Thumb needs to get that offense on track and get some points on the scoreboard. Young back to pass again. Has time. Pass is off the fingertips of Menke, setting up a 4th down.
This time they sprint right, and the tight end, they bring the tight end back across the grain. Here we go. We got a man in motion, comes back, sets up, looks for the tight end coming back across, makes the throw. Linebacker is right in front of him. That's what they want to do, keep all the receivers in front of him, makes a good play, good hit, separates the receiver from the ball.
Ron Barr on the pass coverage. Cassiope back to kick. And that's a boomer. Latino has it, and not much place to go. Antoine Newble and Jay Larson down to make the tackle at the 30-yard line. We'll be back. Belvidere's ball, 9-0 lead on WIFR TV. The Belvidere Bucs are starting to assert themselves. First down run by Aaron Latino, picks up 10 yards. They move the chains. 40-yard line now for the Bucs. They have a 9-0 lead, 8:42 to go in the fourth quarter.
I tell you what, fourth quarter too is where Belvidere really turns it up a notch. Of course, they do have their 2-platoon system, and this is one of the reasons why they've gone to it. They feel they're a lot fresher in the fourth quarter than other teams that have two-way players.
Magoo Martinez slams up the middle for a gain of 3. It's ironic. You say the fourth quarter, the 2-platoon system should wear a team down. Well, fourth quarter, Bucs score 93 points. Their opponents score 66. The most points their opponents score in any quarter is 66. And 93, that's obviously a healthy amount of points for a quarter. Vern Pottinger and the Bucs looking good with this 9-0 lead. 8:10 to go. We have a timeout as we have a late substitution, little equipment problem for one of the Belvidere Buck players. Belvidere does most of their damage in the second quarter with 132 points. They allow just 53.
I'm sure a lot of those points that were scored against Belvidere were because Belvidere had their second and third teamers in there.
That's a good point. Pass play, Jeff Gardner had Aaron Latino up the slot and led him by just a hair too much. That could have been a big gainer and maybe a backbreaker for the Boylan Titans. As it is, it sets up a 3rd down and 8, and the Titan defense needs to come up with a stop.
Here we go. They fake the counter dive. You know, a lot of people say this is a game of inches. Like you say, if that would have been a completed pass, I don't think anybody would have caught him, and that would have broke Boylan's back.
3rd down. Magoo Martinez slams up the middle, busts through some tackles, and comes up 3 yards short of the 1st down. Let's now go to Anthony Rothman on the Boylan Titan sidelines. Perhaps a quarterback change in the offing.
All right, thanks a lot, Andy. I just heard from Coach Bill Thumb. He turned to number 2, his backup quarterback, Aaron Hobson. He said, Aaron, get ready to go in. I asked Aaron if he was going in. He said, hopefully. Back up to you.
We will find out soon enough. The Titan defense has forced a Buck punt. Andy Curley to do the punt. And Hobson is ready if called upon. Young back to receive the punt along with Rick Grimes. 7-16. Punt off the side of his foot and out of bounds. And the Boylan Titans will take over near the 30-yard line. We'll have Aaron Hobson and the Boylan Titans when we come right back on WIFR TV. We are back at Titan Stadium. The Belvidere Bucs leading the Boylan Titans 9-0, and Boylan has indeed switched quarterbacks. Willie Young, the senior, is on the bench. Junior Aaron Hobson, who quarterbacked throughout much of the middle part of this year, is now taken over the reins. 7:11 to go. Titans down by 9, and they are being shut out. And here comes Hobson on the rollout, looking for a pass, and there ain't anybody there but Paul Saltow, and he drops what should have been another interception.
I tell you, that's one pass that probably shouldn't have been thrown. Belvidere's playing a 3-deep zone. They're dropping way back. Here comes Hobson back out. He's got a real strong arm, good feet. Sets up the throw, just kind of floats it up there and gives Salto a chance to get over there and maybe get a pick. But unfortunately, this is about the 3rd one that Belvidere's had where they've had it in their hands and dropped it.
Hobson 29 for 66 for the year, 468 yards and 5 touchdowns. 2nd and 10. Pressure, and his receiver falls. Steve Menke got tripped by Kyle Cox, inadvertently, no flag.
I tell you, I think that was, they just got their feet tangled up. It's a good no call. Officials, unless they see something for sure, they're not supposed to call it. And I don't think that they saw anything there that was intentional. I think it was just, their feet got tangled up and fell down. And Boylan faced a big 3rd down again.
3rd and 10. Just a reminder that Shark Shootout will be coming up after this IHSA Class 5A state semifinal pitting Boylan and Belvidere. 3rd and 10. Hobson rolling right. Got some blocking, but throws it right to Lou Martinez, who goes down on the 42-yard line. Once again, Hobson got a little pressure from Adam McClinton, but that ball was to the wrong team.
Well, Boylan was in a situation where they really have to throw. They're 2 scores down, 7 minutes to go. You know, they've got to move the ball down the field and also be able to stop the clock, and you have to do that by throwing the ball. Belvidere knows that, and they're just waiting for it. Here they end up sprinting right. He comes out there, like you say, he gets a little pressure, throws it, and Lou Martinez is sitting right in front of playing underneath the receiver, makes a big play. Usually in these situations now, Belvidere, after turnover, they just want to pounce on you, and they want to get in for a score. They want to really break your back now.
9-0 Belvidere leading, under 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Lou Martinez, of course, had the big interception in the 4th quarter last week against East St. Louis. He has come up big again this afternoon for the Belvidere Bucs. Jeff Gardner with a full wishbone behind him. Aaron Latino, Shad Pease, and Miguel Magoo Martinez. Coach Pottinger signaling in the play. And it is to Shad Pease. Pease picks up 7 yards. And Boylan Titan fans heading to the parking lot a little early, it looks like.
There's a counter dive again to Peace. He's gonna, they're driving hard. They want to drive it down, even though there's 6 minutes to go. They want to make sure that they get down there and get another score in to make sure this game's over.
9-0 Belvidere, 6:08 and counting. Belvidere Bucs on their own 37-yard line. Now look at what Belvidere is doing. They're taking their time to signal into play. They're letting some time run off the clock between plays. The no huddle is in no hurry now. That play was not signaled in very well at all because the would-be ball carrier missed the handoff. Latino didn't get the right call, and Gardner has to eat it, and he loses 2 yards.
Definitely some miscommunication on that one. I think Gardner thought it was a counter dive, and I think Latino thought it was something going off tackle to his left, and no one was there to carry the ball. They're really fortunate that they didn't turn the ball over. Again, here they go. In this kind of situation, Belvidere, they know when the 25-second count's going to start. They've got an assistant coach who's keeping track of that, and Gardner will just sit and wait until he's signaled on when to start the play.
3rd and 6, option right. Gardner keeps it. Comes up near first down yardage, crossing the 35-yard line to the 34.
Big play that time. They actually went on balance that time. They moved their tight end over to the same side as the split end's on, so they were unbalanced to the right side. Here they go. They fake. Here they come. Gardner keeps it. Again, makes a good little cutback there against the grain. Gets the extra yardage that he needs. Now it's 4th and 1. Big play here.
4th down and about half a yard, and the Belvidere Bucs will be going for it. They have a 2-score lead, 9-0, and they want to eat some more of the clock. 4:41 to go.
Here they're going double tight with Latino in the wing right.
And they quickly give it to Martinez, but a whistle stops play before the snap occurs, and that could be delay of game. Another
Dead ball foul, delay of game, offense, still 4th down.
There haven't been many penalties in this game, but they do seem to crop up on crucial downs, haven't they?
Yeah, I tell you what, you sure don't want that to happen on a 4th and short. Now it's 4th and 6. That changes the situation completely. Coach Pottinger could punt. It looks like he's going to do that right now. He's bringing the punt team in. But this is a good situation for fake too. They're in good field position. They're down deep. They could throw a pass. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of the up backs close to the line of scrimmage go in motion. They may flip the ball out to him, or they may run it somehow. This is a good situation for fake.
High snap. Curley hauls it in and boots it down into the far corner. Ricky Grimes makes the catch at the 5, avoids a tackle, but can't avoid the rest. Got tackled by number 57 of the Belvidere Bucs, Brad Love, down there. And now Boylan finds themselves down 9-0 on the wrong end of the field.
This is not a great situation. His heels should be right on the 10-yard line. If it goes over his head, he should let it go into the end zone, take his chances on a touchback and getting it out at the 20. Now they've got 95 yards to go, 94 yards to go. It's a long way to go.
Anthony Rothman on the sidelines. Anthony, go ahead.
All right, Andy, let's not celebrate prematurely, but I got a little story for you. I've got John Maxwell here, who's one of the 4 managers on the Belvidere team. John, tell me what you're going to do if Belvidere wins this game.
Well, I'm going to walk right down there to that end zone and get me a piece of their turf.
Tell me about this turf wall. Who's on it?
It's just, it started at the Hanani game. Me and Coach Hearn were talking about it, and we just decided that we went on the road, we need some roadkill. So we just thought of something, and we came up with the dirt to bring back with us.
All right, John, good luck, I guess.
Actually, I got a little screwdriver. They call me the turf doctor, so it's my scalpel.
All right, John Maxwell, the turf doctor, warming up on the Belvidere sidelines. Back up to you.
They got that whole system down well, don't they, Dean? And Adam McClinton got the sack down on Aaron Hobson. They are back to the 2-yard line now. McClinton has been in the Boylan backfield virtually all game long.
I tell you, McClinton's had a really big game. There's a big play right there, getting a sack down on the 1.5-yard line. Boylan, needless to say, is in a big hole.
3 sacks for McClinton, 3:30 to go. Boylan trailing 9-0. Dive play up the middle to Jeff Cavanaugh.
This is Boylan's really bread and butter play right here. They've done this really well over the years. They get themselves out of the hole a little bit, give themselves a little breathing room, little fullback trap up the middle. 3rd down.
Don't forget the Shark Shootout coming up after post-game coverage of this Class 5A state football semifinal right here on WIFR TV. A Shark shootout, little golf action on the turf. We've got our own turf doctor here for the Belvidere Bucs. And we got a 3rd and 7 for the Boylan Titans in bad need of a first down. And then Hobson looking long, and he airs it out to Grimes. Another near interception by this one by Ewell Berg. Grimes wound up playing pass defense on that one. Belvidere's just waiting back there for him, and that's really what they should be doing.
I tell you, they know they've got to throw, and so here they come out. It's a sprint right. Hobson sets up. He's going to throw it up, and hopefully Grimes can make a big play. But secondary there for Belvidere is right there, ready to make a play, knock the ball away.
4th down. Cassiope back again for a punt. 2:39 to go in the game. Belvidere Bucs leading it 9-0. Looking for a fake, no fake coming. Punt. Nobody back to catch it. That's how much Belvidere was looking for a fake, and they will get possession on the 43-yard line, and we'll be back with the final 2:30 after this on WIFR TV. First down carry by Magoo Martinez, stopped at the line of scrimmage by Antoine Newble, number 72, and Rob Lebeck, who has played very well at nose tackle. Lebeck with 5 tackles and 3 assists. Newble, the leading tackler, with 8 tackles and 2 assists. I tell you, life as an assistant coach can get a little dangerous. Take a look at the Belvidere sideline here. Oh, that'll sting. Coach Pottinger trying to get his point across, I guess.
I tell you, Daryl Magnuson's got to watch out when he's around Vern Pottinger. It's gonna get really hurt and start bleeding or something.
3 injuries for Belvidere. Matt McClenton, who, as Anthony reported, has a bruised spleen, and that I'm sure will be treated very carefully. Aaron Latino went out with an ankle, and now, of course, Daryl Magnuson with a perhaps bloody nose. And Boylan Titans, just some hurt and pride, that's for sure, for the Boylan Titans. They've had one whale of a season, there's no doubt about it. It looks bleak for them with 2:05 to go, trailing 9-0. This underdog playing it loose as a goose through the playoffs has been how many times is a team going to knock off the 6th-ranked team in the state?
I tell you, they've had a tremendous year. They've done a good job all year of rising to the occasion and getting big wins when they've needed it. The last 2 games of the year, they needed to, the regular conference season, they needed to win in order to get to the playoffs. They did that. They played some good games in the playoffs. They beat McHenry after getting out to a big lead there. They came back and were able to beat them. And they beat a very good Jefferson team. Then, of course, last week they beat number 1 team in the state, number 6 in the nation, and Wheaton Warrenville South, defending state champs. They've had a tremendous year. I tell you, every year people have been saying that Boylan's going to be down. They're losing a lot of people, and it's really a great credit to Coach Thumb, Coach Fad, and Coach Boylan that they've been able to put such great teams together that have made it, so far in the playoffs the last 3 years.
Coach Thumb has a 70% winning percentage of 70%, 101-43 in 14 years at Boylan, 11-6 in the playoffs, 7 playoff appearances. And it's interesting, we look back on the rivalry between Thumb and Pottinger. They have met 16 times, and they are 8-8 coming into today's game. So, yeah, not too many coaches have 8 wins against Vern Pottinger. Unfortunately for Bill Thumb, he's not going to get his 9th today, and it looks like the Belvidere Bucs will be heading to Bloomington Normal in a matter of a minute 54. It is 3rd down and 5, movement on the offensive and defensive line. It looks like Steve Menke got a little over anxious for the Titans.
Yeah, Belvidere right now, of course, they just want to come down here, get a couple first downs, and just kill the clock.
False start, offense, still 3rd down.
They don't want to give the ball back to Boylan at all. They've got to make sure they keep their concentration now, execute, make sure they get a couple first downs. I believe Boylan's down to only 1 timeout left, so they can't stop the clock after they use their last timeout. So Belvidere's got to hang on to the ball, and the game's there, and they'll be taking a trip down to Normal.
where they will face the winner of the Bolingbrook De La Salle game, and we hope to get an update on that score for you. Bolingbrook probably the favorite in that game. They are unbeaten and have been ranked high in Class 5A polls throughout the year. And De La Salle came in like the Boylan Titans with a 9-3 record. Let's talk about going downstate. Coach Schluter, you were downstate as the quarterback for the East E-Rabs in 1974, and they won the state title with a 13-0 record, and you were downstate in 1985 when the East E-Rabs went down and won over Arlington Heights, Forest View, 28-3. Well, what does a trip downstate and all that goes with it mean to a school like a Belvidere?
Well, I'll tell you what, for Belvidere, who's got a great tradition anyway, it's really something that's going to cap off something that they've been shooting for a long time. Of course, back in 1988, they went down and came up just a little bit short, played a great game against Peoria Richwoods, but came up a little bit short, and came in second in the state. I'm sure they want to get down there and they want to win the whole thing. And they've had a great season. They've been undefeated, of course, in the regular season, and of course they've been absolutely fantastic through the playoffs. And I'm sure they want to have one more week. I'm sure Coach Sternquist is telling all these guys, give me one more week to coach. He wants to coach one more week, and I'm sure they want to go down there and just really show what their program is all about, what a great tradition they have, and they want a chance at that state title.
Belvidere played in the state 5A championship in 1988. They lost to what was considered one of the most thrilling state finals ever to Peoria Richwoods, 36-29. That was the most thrilling until probably last year when Wheaton Warrenville South needed 2 overtimes to win their state title. Belvidere will be punting here. Andy Curley has been very busy kicking the football. Big block attempt by the Titans. Curley just happy to get that one out of there. Rolls it out of bounds. We'll be back with a final 142 after this on WIFR TV. The Boylan Titans trailing 9-0 to the Belvidere Bucs. Nothing. Belvidere Bucs are a minute 38 away from their second ever trip to the state finals. They will be playing in 5A, and it looks like they will be heading to Normal. That is a noon kickoff Saturday afternoon on the AstroTurf at Illinois State. Aaron Hobson trying to get the Bucs, or get the Titan offense on the scoreboard somehow, someway. Rolls left, looks across the middle, finds Menke. Menke stumbles and picks up another couple yards. The tackle made on that play by Andy Curley.
Now they've got to run a little bit of a hurry up here. This last play, Hobson comes out, sprints left, stops and sets up, looks back to his tight end, who's made some big catches during the day, and avoids one tackle. And Belvidere keeps him inbound, keeps that clock running, minute 24.
Hobson, quick pop over the middle to Grimes. See what Grimes can do. Grimes has been pretty much bottled up all game long by the Belvidere Buck defense. Across the 50-yard line, Kavanaugh checks in with a play along with Chris Hand.
I tell you, Boylan's in a tough position. They're out of timeouts. They got to keep it going. They got to make sure they get down the field, and their receivers got to get out of bounds now to give themselves a chance. There's a drop
off up the middle to Kavanaugh. Opens up for good yards, but there just isn't the time for this anymore. I mean, the clock will stop now to move the chains, but they do need to be heading toward the sidelines a little more.
Well, that was a play where they got a first down. The clock does stop when there's a first down to set the chains. Then they get it going again. Here comes the next play, 1st and 10.
And now they're going halfback option. Luke Thumb pursued by and sacked by Jim Creighton, who has come off the Titan bench. The junior has had a solid game at defensive end, and that will kill any comeback hopes the Boylan Titans may have had. 26 seconds and counting, 9-0. Belvidere leading. Hobson has the team at the line of scrimmage again. He just wants to throw it away. They throw it away, indeed. Grimes was signaling, get the ball out of bounds, stop the clock, and then we'll call a play.
Usually teams have a play where we set up. They just set up. They snap the ball, and they're just going to throw it out of bounds right away. There's no need to really drop back. You just get the snap, one-step drop, and you throw it out of bounds, stop the clock, and that's the situation they're in. It took a little bit more time than probably should have, but they got the clock stopped anyway. 16 seconds to go.
Boy, it's looking a little colder on the Boylan sidelines than it is over on the Belvidere sidelines. I wonder why that is, Coach.
I'll tell you what, it's sure cold up here. I don't know how cold it is down there, but it's cold up
16
here.
seconds to go, 9-0. Belvidere Bucs are starting to plan for Illinois State and the finals. Grimes open over the middle. Yule Berg comes in late and breaks it up.
I'll tell you what, again, Belvidere, they're just sitting back. They're in a 3-deep zone. They just want to make sure that a big play doesn't happen. You know, Boylan's going to have to do some things where they make some big plays. Threw it up. Grimes had it just for a second, but it was knocked away at the last minute.
We're moments away from golf, the Shark Shootout, coming up next on WIFR TV. But we're going to have some post-game comments from stars and coaches after this historical Class 5A state semifinal playoff game. Hobson way back, screen pass overthrows Rick Grimes. That will do it, folks. That was 4th down, 7 seconds to go. Belvidere, one snap, and they are packed.
That's all they're going to have to do now is snap the ball, sit on it, and it's all over. Boylan can't stop it. And it looks like Belvidere is going to be a great representative down for themselves and the Nick 9 Conference down for the state championship game.
Belvidere Bucs are unbeaten. They rely on a lot of juniors. I think Coach Pottinger would agree that he is somewhat surprised that they are 13-0, considering the conference and considering the number of juniors that he has in key positions.
Well, I'll tell you what, they do have some good juniors in some key positions. They're going to be tough again next year. They've really got a great program, and it's a great credit to the coaching staff, the players, and the fans that they're able to make it down and play one more game.
9-0 Belvidere. A gang huddle in the middle of the field. The Belvidere Bucs are going downstate.
You see the coaches are shaking hands, players are shaking hands. This really is a great thrill to be in this kind of situation, knowing you're going down for one more week and to play one more big game. It's a lot of fun. It's exhausting, but there's no feeling like it in the world.
Some of the Belvidere fans have found their way onto the field now to join the happy team. We'll be back to Titan Stadium, where the Belvidere Bucs have knocked off the Boylan Titans, and Belvidere is heading to normal. We'll be right back after this with post-game comments.